So that's number one. Question number two, also from BJ, is where does soy milk rate compared to nuts or regular, or to nut milks, excuse me, or regular milk? So by nut milks, he means almond milk, cashew milk, and things like that. So I think the hierarchy is pretty simple. I think the worst of the three, so starting from the bottom, then we'll work towards the best, is soy milk. And soy has been linked to cancer in women. It is not, especially in the mass quantities that it's cultivated, it is not very conducive to health. I know we were fed all that BS in the 80s and 90s that soy milk and soy products are so healthy for us. No, that's not true. It doesn't matter if it's organic or not. It's not something that I would personally ingest. I've done enough research on it. I've seen enough case studies and, bad findings that I don't want to touch it. Especially if you're a woman, you don't want to touch soy milk. You don't want to touch soy products in general. Stay away. Stay away. Like literally stay away. Next on the list, I would say would be regular milk. And that would be just dairy milk from cows. And if you're going to have cow milk, I would recommend you get organic cow milk. And again, the reason for that is that the cows that are being used to milk during the processing of the milk, they are often fed with antibiotics and hormones in conventional settings, and also they're treated like complete and utter shit. I mean, I know there are plenty of organic farms worldwide that also treat their animals like shit. They just have the organic standard and paid extra and went through all the BS to be deemed an organic farm. But it's not as prevalent in the organic community, and the chances of there being antibiotics, hormones, and other trace elements of things you don't want in your milk will be there. Another thing to consider, BJ, with regular milk is you want to go whole. The reason you want to go with whole milk instead of 2% or skim or fat-free is because the only nutritious part of cow milk is the dietary fat. If you're getting a skim milk or a reduced fat milk, like a 2% or a 1% or something like that, then it's often you got to take out the fat, but you got to replace that taste. And what replaces that taste more often than not in milk and in just about every other type of food or beverage? It is sugar. So there will be even more sugar in reduced fat milk than there is in whole fat milk. And there's still a good amount of sugar. There's 16 grams of sugar for every cup of whole fat milk. So I wouldn't recommend, especially if you're looking to lose weight, and even in general, you can drink too much milk, certainly. So I would try and stay away from regular milk as well. But if you had to choose between soy milk or regular milk, go with regular milk, preferably organic whole milk versus anything else. I do think the best types of milks you can ingest out there are nut milks, more specifically almond milk and cashew milk. Now you got to be careful here because you got to look at the ingredients. Again, there aren't really any, I think there might be one actually, organic almond milk. There's not too many organic nut milks in general, so that's one thing you got to deal with. But secondarily, a lot of them have artificial colorings, flavorings, sweeteners in there, like almond vanilla milk. Often that's pretty artificial, that's pretty processed, and that's probably no better for you than drinking reduced fat, regular conventional milk or soy milk. But if you're getting like a cashew milk or an almond milk and there's pretty much nothing in there, it's just like cashews, almonds, water. I know they use different binding processes, xanthan gum. And xanthan gum, the worst thing I've seen that has come out of ingesting xanthan gum as an emulsifier, which is what gives it that like milky texture when you're drinking a nut milk, is just maybe a little bit of bloating and digestion, but nothing that's going to kill you, certainly nothing that's going to harm you. So I would say that on the hierarchy, again, soy milk's at the bottom. Stay away from that at all costs. If you're going to drink regular milk, get an organic milk, get whole milk as well. Stay away from reduced fat. Try and stay away from conventional milk. And keep in mind, though, with regular cow milk, I shouldn't say regular milk because there's also goat milk and other types, but regular milk is high in sugar, right? So if you're going to drink organic whole milk, there's still 16 grams of sugar per cup. That's a lot. You get a reduced variety, there's even more sugar because they're taking out the fat and they need to replace the taste, and the way that they do that is through the means of sugar. And then with nut milks, make sure that it's an unsweetened variety too. That's another thing I didn't point out before. A lot of nut milks are sweetened because let's face it, grinding up a bunch of almonds, grinding up a bunch of cashews, mixing it with water, it doesn't taste all that great. So they need to sweeten it in some way. So there are some that are sweetened with stevia. There are some that, you know, maybe they have a little sugar but not too much, but stay away from unsweetened. And if pretty much the ingredients are ground up almonds or cashews, water, and some xanthan gum as an emulsifier, that's fine. So I would stick with that. I forget the name of the brand that I personally use. I even have it in the fridge here, but I'm connected here through the mic, so that would kind of undo this whole thing. Otherwise, I'd look for you right now. But yeah, so that would be the hierarchy. So again, to finish that off, soy milk, regular milk, nut milk. All right, so that would be my 3.